in the piece of Gardien d'Images, I'm talking about personal history, like in order to kind of give visibility to the war of Algeria.
دايم كان عنده un appareil في يده.
ملي عرفته.
Voilà. ملي واقيلا نزاد به. Et c'est bien simple, on n'était pas jalouse parce que même dans le lit, il était avec son appareil par là. Surtout le premier appareil qu'il a eu, l'Oulène, ça a été un calvaire.
I was very interested in this lady because I had met her perhaps a year before making the piece, and she had shown me a photograph of her husband, and I was really touched by the quality because for me it was the first time where I was seeing images of the Algerian war taken by an Algerian. Most of all the images we see in France or even in England or at the Getty Institute or wherever, they're often taken by the French army or journalists that the French will invite. So always was taking some very particular photography, with the same agenda. So suddenly when I saw those images, I realized that they were very different. They were much more lively for me and they were not as repetitive as the other ones.
La guerre avait commencé. Donc il fallait cet appareil, il fallait faire de la photo. Là, ça devenait professionnel.
I fell in love with this lady also, because she's amazing, the way she speaks, her story. She was also a freedom fighter, alongside her husband. He might have been the creative one because he was taking the photograph, but her role with him was very important. And I was really interested in this idea of using art or photography, for instance, in this piece, to fight a war. So to use kind of the camera as a gun or as a tool to fight. The way I devised the piece is by doing two parts, part one and part two. Part one has two screens, so it's a diptych, and I wanted to give it more a personal side to it. So you hear her talking about the love of her husband.
Elle dit, tu ne peux pas connaître, je ne te souhaite jamais de connaître la solitude d'un vieux. C'est ça, peu de temps avant sa mort, il me dit, tu ne peux pas t'imaginer la solitude d'un vieux, et je ne te la souhaite pas.
And how difficult it is to, when you've lived with somebody for so long, to lose that person and the illness and the burden of the archive, all those things. And then the second part is much more historical. It's a single screen and it's much more factual. So it's photos where she tells, here is this person, this was this event, this, dates, facts,
هذوما اللي كانوا les condamnés à mort.
Oui, Jamila Bouhed condamnée à mort, celle-ci.
هذه تاني.
Béa Houssine aussi.
Mais pas Dreyf. Elle n'était pas condamnée à mort.
Dreyf,
I tend to like working with elderlies because I'm really interested in this idea of the memory and the memory loss or the lack of memory or the mistake one can make, when they try to recall events that happened 50 or 60 years ago. So there was quite a few interesting moments within the interview where she wasn't sure about date, name, getting confused people. I think it's part of preservation, it's part of the legacies that she's leaving us now. We have to believe her because she's the one who knows this archive. And I said to her that, the only way I could help her, and I really wanted to do that, is to actually make a piece of work on the archive, and hopefully that will give visibility to Mohamed Kouassi, her husband, but also to the archive and to herself.